That is the soundtrack for today's review. It is the sound of going down the rabbit hole. And of course, we all know that Alice in Wonderland went down that rabbit hole. And that's why today I know you've all been waiting for me to do a book review of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, no, I know it came out in the 1800s, but I finally got around to picking it up and doing a book review. Okay, I'm not really doing a book review of Alice in Wonderland, but I am doing a review of the Alice in Wonderland book test by Jonas. Yep, that's what I'm doing today. We're going to go down that rabbit hole on this book test. Stick around, come down the rabbit hole with me, and we'll see if this is the right product for you. Hello everyone. That sounded funny. Hello, there goes my voice. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm FiddlinJonny. I'm just glad you're here. I really appreciate it that you're here. This is a passion project, doing these reviews. I really enjoy doing them and I hope that they are of value to you. I started the channel with the idea of that, thinking of myself on the other side of this screen and wanting to be of value to you. All right. Jonas has put out the Alice in Wonderland book test. That's what we're reviewing today. Now I'm going to assume all of you already know what a book test is. If you don't, basically here's how it appears to your audience. You hand them a book. They pick any page that they want and go to any word in that book, and then the performer, without ever touching the book or looking at the book, is able to divine what word you as a spectator have chosen. Now we all know in reality it's a lot more complicated than that, but that's how it will essentially seem to your spectator. You know, there's a lot of different book tests out there, and all of them sort of have some of their pros and cons and shortcomings. This one's no different than the rest, other than this is chock full of methods in order to divine words, more so than any other one out there that I am aware of. So let me stop myself there. He's got 6 different ways in which to know what words, or to sort of routine 6 different ways to know what the word is, or what I haven't mentioned yet, you can do a drawing duplication with this as well. So that's a lot in a single book or a book test. You know, it can be as simple as, in this book test here, is like they can open to any page in the entire book, look at the very first word, and you will know the very first word. You will know what that word is that they picked in the book. And they can flip through this book and go, they won't see duplication on those pages. So, damn, that's really freaking cool. Or you can have them go more complex. You can do a math equation that's random and goes to a random page, and have them go down a certain amount of lines in a certain amount of numbers, and be able to, and know what word they have landed on. So it's got sort of all the classics there wrapped up into a single book. Let's talk about what the heck do you get. So you're going to get 2 books. You're going to get the Alice in Wonderland book itself, and that's what it is. It is the Alice in Wonderland book. I'm going to show you this up close because I know that some folks have not always liked the book. They feel like it's a little cheap looking. Some folks don't like the cover. I really honestly think it's just a matter of taste in terms of what your preferences are. For me, my takeaway on this is, this looks like, you know, a sort of book that, you know, someone who's interested, a young reader, to read the Alice in Wonderland story in here, and, you know, sort of what you might expect in here. Some folks will either love or not love the pictures, but I do want to show you so you can see some of those and what they look like. Like essentially a duplication of what you see on the cover on there. That's the book. There's nothing funny about this book. You can hand it out to your spectator. They're going to be able to touch it, feel it, hold on to it. There's nothing for them to look, find, or see in it. The other thing you're going to get is this instruction book here. And so Luke has put together an instruction book. I actually really like the instruction book. It is 38 pages in length there, and I don't think I mentioned the actual book is 122 pages in length. Those are two things you're getting. You're not going to get any sort of video tutorial. you're going to get the instruction book, and from there you'll know how to go ahead and do those effects. So based upon that, you're going to need to know how are the instructions. So here's my take on the instructions. The instructions are no fluff at all. There's no scripting essentially for you. You are going to get the methods in order to know how to point people towards specific words so that you then will know what they are. I actually like it because without the fluff, because one, I just need to know the method. I can build my own script and based upon my style and how I want to get there. And I think a book test, quite honestly, is a little bit used more frequently with folks who like to do book tests, do them frequently. They sort of have their own style with how they want to do them. You can watch lots of videos of people doing book tests and sort of take an amalgamation of what's going to work for you. So there's no shortage of the sort of different scripts that are used by people out there, but they're all kind of similar anyway. But you should create one that works for you. And I felt like, Luke Jonas is a great writer. I have no problem with his writing style. It's pretty straightforward, to the point, and understandable, and no problem there. Let's talk about how are these, and I sort of hit on this a little bit earlier, but the book is fun. You're going to be able to hand it out, and there's nothing for anybody to see, and this is what it looks like. You're either going to like that or you're not going to like it, and I think that's personal preference. But it's a great prop that's going to do the job that's exactly as advertised. Let's talk a little bit about the skill level, and here is where I think some nuance comes. I think this is beginner and intermediate. It is both. If you're brand new to book tests and you just sort of want to dabble your toe in it, it has, I think at the bare minimum, what someone who's a beginner, you'll be able to start from there. And I think what I really mean here is that, there's 6 different ways in which you can define words from here. That's a lot. If you're a beginner, just pick one and dedicate yourself to learning that one method, practicing it, and doing it really well and performing it well. Once you've got that under your belt, then go to the next level with another method and add that in there, and you'll be able to do it. I would say that all of them, for the most part, are beginner in terms of skill level. They just require time and memorization, time to do the memorization for the method. I would sort of say, you can go to any page in this book and know the very first word on that page. That means that there is, in essence, there's 25 different words you're going to have to memorize. And Luke has created a mnemonic for you to be able to make it easier to remember those 25 words. So those are the sorts of things that require maybe 30 minutes worth of practice and you'll be able to do. So that's where I'm starting with. It's beginner to intermediate. So wherever you are on that spectrum, you know that there's a little bit something there for all of you. And I'll say all the stuff that we typically say in reviews. There's no sleight of hand. There's no angle issues, which I think would be obvious. There's no magnets. It's just, you're just going to need to do some memorization with the method that's used. Let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons all wrapped up and together. I think if you're interested in a book tests are strong. Because basically, as I said in the beginning, it will feel like they can pick any dang word from any page and you will know what that word is. But on top of that, you could do it as a presentation as mind reading, that you're a great mind reader. You could do it as if you have an incredible memory and you've memorized every single word in that book. And so it's a great way to do that. You could do it as a prediction even if you wanted to. You could figure out ways to do that. You might want to do it as reading body language, that once they've picked a word that you watch sort of how they move and spell it out, and that they're giving away clues. So there's a lot of different ways to package it, and each way I feel like from an effect point of view is really, really strong. So that's why I think book tests are really good. There are, of course, with any book test, there is, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of pros and cons in terms of you want to direct them to specific words and how you direct them to specific words and drawing them to the big words because those are harder words. That's typical of so many different book tests and different methods, and this is no different than that, other than you've got a lot of different methods in order to be able to put together your routines in this. And I would add that Luke's taken the time with each method to give you a way to make it simpler to be able to remember what the word is, in essence. And I haven't mentioned much about drawing duplication. You can do drawing duplication in here as well if you want to, or produce objects from the drawings type of a thing. So again, there's a lot of creativity here, and it's different than I would say a lot of book tests, in that there's a lot of different directions you can go with how you want to put your routine together, or the methods in there. The one other thing that I'm going to say about sort of my pros and cons here is that Luke Jonas has created what he calls the NWP 2.0 method, and this is a method that he came up with. It's built upon an older method, but is a variation on that, and he's really taken the time to hone that before he wanted to release it in this book. I think he's really onto something there, and something for mentalists to be thinking about, or folk mentalists and book tests, is that it's a nice addition, I think, to the canon of mentalism there. So nice job, Luke. I really appreciate that, and I think it's something that's probably still continues to have room for growth and expansion on words that are used there. All right, so, and Luke's been working on this for a while, and it shows. I keep saying this, but I'm going to come back to it at the end of the day. There's a lot of memorization that's going to be necessary if you want to do all of them, and that will take time, so just know that. I have one other, here's my one nitpicky thing. So Luke Jonas, if you're watching, and I hope you do, I really like your releases. In here there is a method that's used that uses math, and there's a printing error in the math. And the first time I went to do it, it's like, what? The math doesn't add up. And then realized that two numbers were reversed. So if you got this book and you're having a challenge, know that that's what the problem is. I think that it's written out well enough that you figure that out pretty quickly. So at any rate, Luke, next time just send me the book in advance before you go to print. I'll be happy at no cost to do copy editing for you to double check those things. But that would be my one sort of issue that I was going like, what the heck? The math doesn't work on this method, and which is a classic method, by the way. And it was simply because there was a typing error in there. All right, with the numbers juxtaposed in the wrong positions. Anyway, look, this is a real solid book with multiple methods built in that allows you to decide which one works best for you. Who's going to like it? Duh, mentalists are going to like this. I think if you're a mentalist, you like to do parlor work, small stage work, this is ideal, because I think that's where book tests play really, really well. It's not the sort of thing where if you're doing walk around magic, man, I don't think it fits in that type of a scenario really well. I think it works well for an audience that you are working in front of, you know, like parlor or small stage type of thing. Let's talk about the cost. Now, when this first came out, it hasn't been out super long. It's a limited print. There's only 250 of these that are being put into print. When it first came out, it was $70. You can find some retailers in the United States that are selling it for as low as $55.96, so about $56. So go out, find a retailer that you really like if you're interested, and know that the range is from about $56 up to about $70 in the United States. And I don't like to say specific, and I apologize, like you say, FiddlinJonny, just tell me where I can go get it for the cheapest. Well, look, these retailers don't pay me anything to mention them, and there's no reimbursement, so I'm not going to promote any of them. Just know that it's out there. You can find it in that price range out there. So, and if you're having a hard time, just reach out to me directly. I will let you know. All right. I think that's it. Again, if you purchase this, leave a comment. Let me know. If you do a book test, let me know. I always really appreciate the comments that you guys are leaving, because they are rich. They add to the conversation. And I want it to be a place where we can help one another out in the comments section. So if you purchased a book test that you really love, let me know. You have one that you don't like, let me know. If you purchased this and I missed something, put it down there in the comments section. All of you, go read the comments and leave a like, because that always helps with the algorithms. And I genuinely appreciate it. If you liked it, that is. If you don't like the review, then don't leave a like. It's fine. It'll make me work harder for those likes. All right. That's it. I hope that the Alice in Wonderland book test by Luke Jonas, that this review was helpful for you. I really appreciate all of you being here. And I hope you'll come back for more magic product reviews. Don't go purchasing something first until you come to the channel and see if there's a review on it here first. All right, thank you very much. I'm FiddlinJonny, and remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.